This morning I am at the Ooltewah cemetery. I seem to be spending a lot of time in cemeteries these days. But I'm here for the express purpose of taking some pictures. And just to give you an idea of how fleeting this can be, when I first pulled in just 10 minutes ago, there was this beautiful shaft of light right here on the front of this mausoleum. And by the time I parked, took a few videos of the walk over here, that shaft of light is gone. But I am here to take some pictures and to practice a little bit with one of my favorite little lenses, my 10 millimeter. My Canon R6 Mark II is what they call a full frame camera. And when I'm shooting in full frame mode, I have 24 megapixels that I can work with, which is a pretty decent file size. Megapixels are measured by how wide and how tall the image is. And 24 is not too bad. If I'm shooting on my iPhone, I get 24 megapixels. But I can also stack those and get 48 megapixels if I shoot in Apple RAW. This little lens right here is what they call a crop sensor. So on a full frame camera, it's really, instead of 10 millimeters, it's really 16 millimeters. But it is so wide that if I shoot in full frame mode, I get this huge vignetting and it looks like I'm shooting through a circle. So I have to change my camera to crop sensor mode. And that means that I drop down to only 9 megapixels. It's a much smaller image. Now, because it's a much smaller image, that means that I can't really do a lot of cropping because I'm gonna lose a lot of my image when I do. So I have to kind of be careful of how I compose. There's not a lot of room for mistakes. But I really love this lens because it gives this dramatically wide view of the world. And so I'm looking for interesting tombstones. I'm looking for interesting light and shadow. Like this image that I just shot right here has got a beautiful sun ray coming through the trees. And so this is kind of where I'm at today. I'm not doing this for my photography channel. This is just what I do. The very first digital camera put out by Kodak, I want to say maybe 1975, was about the size of a toaster. And it had, I don't know, something like 15 batteries to operate it. And it had a megapixel image of 0.01. 1/100th of a megapixel. That's how far we've come. Size of a toaster to a phone. 0.01 megapixels to 48. Now this is a really cheap lens and it doesn't talk to my camera at all. So my camera is not able to set the aperture. The camera is not able to set the focus. All of that has to be done manually. So I've set the aperture at f8 and I've set the focal length to infinity, which means that for the most part, everything I shoot is going to be in focus, whether I try to get it in focus or not. A few pictures might not be, but it's part of the fun of shooting with this lens because I never really know what I'm going to get. And I'm shooting all of these images in JPEG, which means that I've already taken out a lot of the information from the image, which makes it even more difficult to edit. And here again, I've got myself in the picture. And I don't know yet if these will be in color or if they'll be in black and white. But when I'm done, I'll put them all up on my Flickr page, and I'll put a link to it in case you want to see how they turned out, if they turn out. A couple of days ago, I was driving to Collegedale to do the video for the Desmond Doss Memorial video that I did, earlier this week, and I took a wrong turn. And I thought I was taking a shortcut across a couple of roads. Turned out I was on a dead end street. But I passed the Ooltewah Cemetery on the old Ooltewah Cemetery Road. And so I drove through it and I thought, well, this is really, kind of interesting. It's got some character to it. I noticed some of the tombstones or headstones, whatever it is you call them in your area. I noticed some of them were quite old, and there were also a lot of new ones. And so I thought, I need to come back here. I need to take some pictures. And today was that day. And I've been wanting to take my 10 millimeter Laowa lens back out again. It's just kind of a play toy lens for me. I don't do anything serious with this lens. But I do like to just go out and shoot pictures and look for compositions and try to get light and try to do whatever. And some of the pictures that you saw me take in this video didn't turn out. Like there's a little travel trailer on the ground that I tried to take, and I was trying to get a really dramatic shot up close of that trailer. But I should have changed my focus setting because it was just blurred and you couldn't see it. So that didn't show up anywhere. So this video was sort of an attempt for me to think, when I go to Italy and I'm trying to, this is in November, so I've got a long time yet, but this is how my mind works. And I'm trying to pare down as much as possible everything that I'm carrying. And I know that I'm going to be taking a video every day with the iPhone anyway for this channel because it won't have been a year yet. Do I really need to take the DJI Pocket 3 and all the stuff that goes with that? Or can I just take the DJI Pocket 3 mic that also plugs into my camera or into my phone? Can I just take that and do all of my video on the iPhone? And so I'm trying to figure out, what are the settings? What does it look like? How can I do that? And this is one of those kinds of things that I was thinking about when I did this particular video. Got a lot more talking in it than I normally do because I felt like I needed to kind of explain the photography. And it doesn't have as much B-roll of the actual cemetery as I would like to have made. But I was running out of time and I had to kind of hurry. But I will try to stay out of the cemetery now for a few days. I did opt not to put any music under this. Some of the background noise when I'm not talking, some of that is one long clip to try to get sort of an even feel to the background. And then I just put video clips over the top of it. And I was using these microphones with the digital AI noise reduction turned on. In fact, I never turn it off now. And there was no wind. It was just beautiful. It was a gorgeous morning, beautiful, no wind, and the microphones just worked great in that situation. So anyway, that's the video. That's the reason for the video. There'll be more like it probably as we go along. And that's it. This is episode 125, by the way. We are moving right along, and I will see you tomorrow.